piece of shit. Really, at the end of the day, I sound like a piece of shit. I sound like a terrible person. And it's just so mean-spirited and callous and just...
God, bro, like, that's the thing. It's like, it's about actions, not the words. Like, saying I sound like a terrible person, but are you a terrible person? You started a company, you employ a lot of people. You have started multiple companies that employ people. Overall, you are a net positive from what you've been given of creating internet content. From being a streamer, you were able to, you know, branch that off and create businesses that employ people and people buy your product. It doesn't matter. I hate this idea of tone policing. Hey, what's going on, everybody? Just like I predicted in my last video of Asmongold, where I went over his comments about the Gaza conflict, where I figured that there was going to be some backlash, some ramifications for his comments, which were basically not that big of a deal if you're asking me. I mean, he's live for several hours. He, you know, talks, and sometimes you're going to get sound bites and clips. You know, 1 minute of a 3-hour conversation will get clipped and, you know, presented in the worst light. He has been let go, essentially. I mean, he says he stepped down, but he's essentially been let go from leadership positions in 2 different companies that he is a co-founder, I believe, in OTK and Starforge computers. I think that's what it's, Starforge, something like that. But yeah, he's had to step down. He made a apology video. Never apologized right off the bat. Apologizing, worst things you can do, because the mob is never happy and it'll never be enough. But I wanted to go over some of the highlights from his apology and a couple things that I wanted to, you know, give my opinion on. So let's go ahead and check it out. But first, like, subscribe, comment down below, hit that notification bell so you never miss a clip. Let's get into it.
Hey guys, I wanted to talk to you all about what my reason was for getting suspended on Twitch, and also what my plans are going forward. I'm going to try and structure this video into 2 parts, where the first part is going to be me talking about the Twitch suspension, second part is going to be talking about myself. And the first thing I want to start off with is something that I know it might sound a little bit insincere because of how ridiculous this is, but I really mean it, and if you listen to the whole video, I hope you can see why. Everybody who's come and spoken out and talked to me and said stuff about me, you know, aside from the, oh, you should kill yourself or something like that, I want to say that I really appreciate you. And I think this has been something that's a long time coming. And I actually think that this is something that not only I deserved, but it's also something that I needed. And
I don't think cancellation is ever deserved. I mean, to think that a 1-minute clip is going to define you for, you know, X amount of time, or you have to be, you know, canceled or relegated away from, you know, the general public discourse is crazy. And
I want to talk about what the reason for that is, but I want to start off and just make sure that that's actually very clear. So a couple of days ago, I made some comments about Palestine and also about Hamas and, you know, some just general, you know, basically opinions that were trivializing the genocide that's happening there. And I don't really want to, like, mince words or, like, try to, like, oh, I wasn't justifying or, you know, promoting it. I said something about it that was disgusting. I said that I didn't care about innocent people getting killed by another force, by anything. And I think that that's a horrible, disgusting, mean-spirited thing to say. And I don't necessarily think that it was really racist, really, but when I'm using language like Palestinians or like the people there, rather than what my real language was, I've always been very outspoken and very against religious extremism, and I still am. I think that any religion and any way of thinking that's going to cause you to put other people in, like, kind of positions below you as, like, you know, like gay people, women, people with disability.
I mean, women are definitely below us. No, I'm just kidding.
Is anything like that. I think that that's a really bad position to have, and I really don't like that. And I think that my problem and my fault here was that I was making a criticism of religious extremism, and I made no effort And I feel like almost I've rewatched the clip, right, or a number of the clips, and it's like I've almost made an effort not to draw a distinction between the two things. I think that a lot of us here can easily say that we're against religious extremism.
Yeah, 100%.
And I am. But whenever I categorize,
I think the only people that didn't understand that you were saying that were people that were already willing to get mad at you for making even siding. If he would have said, hey, Hamas is a piece of shit, they're a terrorist organization, they killed people, right? They murdered people during in Gaza during an event like a festival, and they deserve to be taken out. There is a section of the internet and a section of like leftist liberals, you know, the Hassan Pikers of the world, like these type of people that even at the most charitable, like the most easy version that he could have said, the most like, hey, not the regular people, but just these extremists are pieces of shit. There's still people out there that would have been like, don't you know that these were caused by the West? The only reason why the Palestinians are dealing with this is because Western influence. It's like, you can't win with these fucking guys. So there's no point if even trying to like rationalize or be like, no, I meant not all of them, you know, trying to like stutter step and be like, regular people with regular functioning frontal lobes understood what he meant. The terrorist organization Hamas is bad and they are getting attacked now. And then yes, you know, citizens are dying, but if they hadn't made the bad choices they made beforehand, this doesn't happen. You know, everything is gonna have a reactive force. You know, a country like Israel can't look weak in a sea of Muslim countries. They had to come with full force. And I'm not saying that I care more about, you know, Israel or Palestine. I don't care about either of them. But I'm saying for the people that are gonna, no matter what evidence is shown that you don't mean all the people, they're always gonna take it that way. They're always like, oh, but the implications of his comments. Oh, but the, you know, the nature of what he said. It's like, you're never gonna win.
Everybody in the area as this like group, then I'm the asshole. And I was the asshole. I had a lot of you guys tell me that. And it's taken me, this is what's so crazy about it, is that I think this has been going on now for like 2 years. I think that I've been slowly devolving into the most mean-spirited, I don't really even know what the word is for it.
There's not a word for it because you're just basically a chill dude. I don't think, I mean, does he make crass jokes or whatever, says things, but I mean, everybody does.
Just like the most mean-spirited, rude, like nasty,
only women care about being
callous, psychopathic version of myself. I think that I've been devolving into this. And a lot of my friends have told me this. My dad has told me this. He said, you've got to chill out. You've got to calm down. I've been like, oh, that old man doesn't know what he's talking about. And I've finally had some level of accountability for that. And thank God. I look back.
Don't ever be thankful for being canceled and having your businesses stripped away and you had to, you know, get out of leadership positions in those businesses. Don't thank the mob for like attacking you. That's insane.
Some of the things that I've said and done over the past 2 years, and I don't think that I've been wrong about everything, obviously, right? But there have been ways that I've communicated and ways that I've acted that are indefensible. And I think it's, looking back on it, it's just disgusting. And it's something that when you get lost...
When you make your living off of having the support of cucks, liberals, Democrats, lefties, this is always what's gonna happen, bro. You're never gonna be virtuous enough. You're never gonna be moral enough for these people.
Lost in the sauce, and you get fixated around like listening and reading feedback and, you know, just getting hyper fixated. This is like your entire life. You lose a perspective on reality, and you lose a perspective on the world. And I think that perspective was brought into perspective yesterday and the day before when I was making comments like this. And I feel so stupid. It's crazy. So I'm getting all these people making negative comments toward me. Everybody is telling me like, oh, go kill yourself. I hate you. Everything like this. Do you know who reached out to me? And they wanted to talk and have a conversation and see if I was okay. It's people that
Hezbollah.
were
No,
Islamic and people that were had fucking family in Palestine. And how humiliating is that? How absolutely humiliating is that? And these were the people I was trying to say were bad. And I feel like such a fucking stupid asshole. I really do.
Not everything in this world is a fucking like literal works. Like not everything is a TED Talk. Like people need to get over the fact that everything you say or write is like set in stone. It's just like you never are people never just like bullshitting with their friends and then the story gets out of hand and the narrative like gets changed and you know I don't know. It's just like when people are bullshitting and just talking, I don't want to take it super serious. Like he wasn't holding a fucking press conference. Like he wasn't being interviewed or interviewing somebody and it was like, so tell us your honest opinions about Hezbollah and Palestine and the Israel conflict. No, he's just shooting the shit and someone asked him about it, so he just said he gave his opinion off the top of the dome. It's just like people need to stop acting like everything you say is like gospel. I don't fucking know. Like Jesus Christ. You guys never fuck like God. We are sucking all the fun out of the internet.
Been a you know, I guess like I've always been kind of like an atheist, and even as a young kid I was raised Roman Catholic and I was always very defiant towards it. And I've always had a negative opinion of religion, and I've also had a negative opinion of religious cultures. And I think that opinion is definitely shaped by the media that I've created, and the media I've created for myself, and then also just the media that exists, the media that I've chose to seek out as well. And I think that media has allowed me to have certain predispositions and certain biases that the truth is that don't have any sort of relation to what my own real life has been experienced, or what my own real life experience has been, excuse me. And so I've been spending a lot of time talking to those people, and I've seen people like fans of mine, like I had viewers messaging me on Discord, like, you know, why are you saying this? Like, do you want to talk? Do you want to, like, you know, I'm willing to talk to you, and like, you know, like let's try to work this out, right? We love you. And I scrolled up on their messages. And these are people that messaged me in like 2016, 2017, 2018. Like, I love your content. I love your stream.
This is what happens when audience capture. This is what happens when you have a disgusting parasocial situation with your audience, where if your audience is feeling some type of way about what you did, you automatically retract and be like, well, no, I'm sorry. When you've been captured by your audience, it becomes very disingenuous. Your opinions are like, well, what will my audience think about these opinions? How will they perceive this? And that's absolutely awful, because that's how you start self-censoring yourself. You know, that's how you get the mob to control your thoughts, and maybe not your thoughts, but what you say. And this is a problem with a lot of people a lot of people are hard at taking criticism, or, you know, if someone says, oh, that was a bad take, you're like, eat shit, keep it going. Fuck it, that was a bad take. Okay, cool. Maybe the next one will be a right take, but that doesn't mean I'm gonna, like, you know. And that's the thing. It's like, even if he did believe this about the, you know, Palestinian people, that they are an inferior culture or whatever, even if he says this apology, it doesn't mean he's gonna all of a sudden stop thinking this way.
Love you, right? And now they get to hear this from me, and I just feel like such a stupid, belligerent fucking asshole. I really do, and I'm sorry. I really am. I think that it's extremely fair to criticize religious extremism, and I think that it's extremely unfair to categorize everybody in part of that group as religious extremists.
And once again, he's saying that because that's what the feedback he's getting. But at least maybe because I'm an older person and my audience is in a child audience for the most part, I think when he made his comments, you could tell that what he was saying, like, you could understand that he wasn't like, all fucking every kids being born in Palestine right now are fucking monsters. I doubt he thinks that.
I think it is, and I'm really sorry for that. I've just been a fucking dick, and it's weird because yesterday I woke up and I didn't know if I was going to get suspended or not, and I had planned on streaming and everything, and I actually got a text message from one of my mods. They said,
what I will say is that what his audience was right about is that fucking room is a fucking crazy mess. Jesus Christ. Like, if any, the biggest takeaway from this whole situation is that people will absolutely cook you about how your room looks. Holy fuck.
Oh, I heard about the suspension, I'm sorry. And I was like, I remember I was like driving and like, you know, you'd think that like your heart rate would go up, but if anything, I felt more relaxed. I felt like finally I have a moment to just take a step back and breathe and think for myself and just stop, just like get out of my own head. And I spent a long time like just writing basically a list of all of these things that like I think that I should be doing with my life. And this is going to be kind of the second part, by the way, of the video. Comments that I made were pretty much about religious extremism. I think it's bad, but I've categorized a lot of people in that way. That was unfair. It's wrong for me to have done that. I said something that was bad. I should not have said that. I should have chosen my words more carefully. I didn't do that. I doubled down on it. I shouldn't have. I'm sorry. That's pretty much, I was a fucking asshole. I was a piece of shit. I'm sorry.
Who cares, bro? Fuck them. Like, fuck all that, dude. Like, we have so many problems here in the United States with homelessness, with veterans, with, you know, people living in poverty, Flint, Michigan, you know, water, all these awful things happening. And the people that care about Israel and Palestine only really care, the majority of them only really care because it's in the zeitgeist at the moment. It's what's trending. If he would have talked about Israel Palestine before this conflict even starts, nothing ever happens. No one gives a fuck. No one even cares. But people only care because it's trending at the time. Like, 2 weeks from now, people are going to move on to the, I mean, I don't mean about Palestine and Israel, but I'm saying after they're done eviscerating this guy, having him lose job positions, leadership positions in companies he co-founded, they're just going to move on to the next fucking person they hate, you know, and it's just a never growing circle of people, you know, cultivating, you know, the left, you know, placating to that audiences, you know, getting those audiences to back them, and then eventually being destroyed by said audience over, you know, saying fuck both those countries, essentially. I mean, I don't think he gives a damn about Israel or Palestine.
I don't know what else to say.
I know.
And so,
I for sure don't.
Actually,
I don't give a fuck
about them. Say. I don't like making apologies because I think words don't matter.
Exactly. You should have stayed with that.
But I do think changed actions and changed behaviors do. And so you can take my apology as hopefully better content. And if you're not seeing that, I want you to hold me accountable.
Damn, dude.
Hopefully this time I won't be stupid enough to...
You can't even have fun on the internet anymore. You can't even say... I miss the internet where you could just say some wild shit and people just like, oh man, did you hear that shit? He said that shit was crazy. Moving forward, you know, that's the thing. It's like everyone takes everything as a fucking dissertation. Everyone takes everything like it's the, you know, the thesis of welcome to my TED Talk. This is welcome to my TED Talk. This is why I hate Palestinians. Like, no, that's not what the fuck happened. You know, to categorize it as him just blatantly being racist or talking shit is a bad, you know, description of what was happening. I mean, he was talking shit, but I don't think it was that serious. Maybe it's because it's a generational thing. To these younger audiences, everything is that serious. But to me, I'm just like, what'd he say? Fuck it. I gotta go get fucking milk. You know, like these people that are perpetually online, or I mean, I'm online a lot, but I don't care about things like that. I'm just like, I mean, I cover trending topics. I cover, you know, sports drama. I cover a lot of drama, but in the end, once I'm done, I lay in my bed and I don't give a fuck. And then I get hate comments and I'm just like, don't watch my channel. I'm not forcing you.
Mouth is pretty dry. Anyway, so the second part about this is that I want to talk a little bit about like my life, my personal life, etc., and kind of some of the points that I think that I've kind of gone through to get here. So the
I'm converting to the Nation of Islam.
For the past, like, I would say like 10 years or so, If you look at my life like this, I would have said 10 years ago, or maybe 8 years ago, streaming was like this, right? YouTube was like this. And now I would say that my life and streaming are basically the exact same size. And what I mean by that is that streaming is my entire life. Doing this is my entire existence. And I think that the process of that has been extremely unhealthy for me.
This motherfucker needs a hobby. He's probably glad he's getting canceled. He's like, fuck it, time to get a fucking hobby.
And I think that what it's done is that it's allowed me to become such a one-dimensional person that I'm not even a person anymore. It's like I'm Dark Souls, I'm going hollow or something. And I think about like all of the, you know, like I made a list of all of the things that I'm not doing in my life that I should be doing, and I was writing it down, and I'm like, you know, fucking like, I'm just going and going and going. I'm like, oh my god, I think it'd be shorter if I transcribed the Bible. Like, this is insane. Like, like, whenever I have everything written down line for line, it's like, oh my god, I'm ruining my life. I've been existing, and I want to, at a certain point, actually try to live my life. And I don't think that I've been doing that. And so, what am I going to do? How am I going to do that differently? And what does that mean for my stream? I think that I'm going to cut down a little bit on streaming quite as much. And I think I'm also going to cut down... This is going to sound like... I hope I can say this in the right way. I feel like the main times that I laugh on my stream nowadays are when I'm laughing at other people. And I look back on videos that I did from 2020, 2016, and 17, and yeah, I've always been an asshole, but holy shit, I've been way more of an asshole. It's insane. And it's a night and day difference. And I've had, again, everybody in the world.
It reminds me of a quote I think I heard, I'm not sure from where it's like, after a certain point, after the propaganda has gone so far, the government will no longer need to police you. We would police each other. You know, thought police are right around the corner. The idea that you cannot have an opinion, or you can't even say anything that is a protective, with going against a protective class without being canceled, is insane. Like, I just don't understand why. I love America because you're allowed to hate whatever the fuck you want. This is one of the main reasons why I thought America, one of the tenets of America, were freedom of speech also means that if you didn't like something, you could just fucking say it. You're like, yo, I don't like those goddamn terrorists in the Middle East. They fucking suck. And a lot of the people in those countries support them, those terrorists, so fuck them too. But now it's like, hey, you can't talk bad about, man. And maybe it's because he's white. Maybe if he was brown and said these things, it'd be a lot different. But the fact that this fucking guy is translucent is one of the main reasons why no one wants to hear a white guy say some fucking fucked up shit right now.
Telling me this, including my own dad, and I've just ignored them. And finally, it's like, you know what? Maybe I'm an asshole. Maybe this is too far. Maybe I need a course correction, which is why I think that, like, getting suspended in this. Just
say you're a comedian, bro. I think the one way to get away with everything is like, these are jokes, people. Remember, everything I say is nothing that I say is of importance. This is just joking around. This is for entertainment purposes only. You know, you gotta let people know, because then their fucking imagination will run wild. Be like, holy fuck, did this guy believe this? It's like, well, I partially believe it, but I'm mostly just fucking around.
I hope that it's one of the best things that's ever happened to me. And I don't know whether that's going to be true, but I'm going to try to do things differently and make sure to live up to that reality. And so, what are those things that I'm going to be doing differently? The first thing is that I think I'm going to try. I've been very much trying to, like, maintain a consistent schedule with my stream, and I will continue to do that. I want to get up and go to bed at relatively the same time. I want to live a normal life, and also I want to spend maybe a little bit less time streaming, and I want to spend more time creating my own videos and doing my own things and spending time on things that I really enjoy, and basically just, like, expanding my existence as a person. I think that ever since I started like OTK and I got involved with that, and then we had like other Starforge and like Mad Mushroom and Mythic and everything, like honestly, it's been too much for me to handle. It's been completely too much for me to handle, and I've been losing my mind dealing with it, and I try to hide it the best I can, because, you know, I try to do the best, right? I try to do my best. You know, it doesn't matter how hard it gets, you just keep going, it doesn't matter. And eventually it does matter, and I think that I've negatively affected a lot of them, and I also don't want to talk about that just in the context of just like this recent controversy. I want to talk about this in the context of the last 2 years. I think that I haven't really been able to fulfill my responsibilities as a leader in a lot of cases to them, and I think that I've let a lot of people down. And there have been things that I've done.
I wonder what, like, I'm assuming Emmy and Tectone are eventually going to get asked about this, and I wonder how they're going to go about it. They're probably not going to say nothing. I feel like they're going to try to stay out of it as much as possible, which is real coward shit. But that's my prediction currently, that if Tectone and Emmy are asked about Asmon and the situation and how they stand for it or whatever, you know, this fucking stupid shit that people say, it's like, do you know, agree with his comments, or do you think it was right? And it's just like, I feel like they're gonna try to avoid it, but what they should say is, hey, we're fucking friends, I'm gonna ride with them, fuck y'all.
They're positive as well. But I think that one thing this thing has taught me, this whole situation has taught me, it's made me realize, is that I need to get myself in check. I need to get my mind under control. I need to, like, just get my life I need to fix my fucking life. Like, it's insane. Like, I think about it, and it's in shambles. Everything about my life is basically fucked. And I'm gonna take a step back from all of it.
You own like a couple successful businesses, you're a really popular big streamer, but yet your life's in shambles. Like, that's crazy, bro. Hire like 10 maids to like and remodel your house, you know, any with fucked areas, redo them, and, you know, hire 10 maids and see your house clean and nice. And this guy's got a lot of money. Like, he could literally hire 10 maids for a week to just fucking absolutely nuke his fucking house with cleaning products, and see how much more he's just like, oh no, wait, my life's okay, I'm still rich as fuck.
I'm gonna step away from my leadership position in OTK and Starforge and everything. I want to, and they're fine with that.
Are they fine with that, or did they probably told them, hey, we're gonna need you to step down, you know, for the betterment of the company? But I'm sure that all the backlash that they're getting are people on Twitter being like, hey, I'm gonna return my Starforge fucking PC, and that person never even fucking owned one. That's the thing. A lot of the backlash that people usually see online rarely translates to the real world, especially with some of these, like, their audience are usually really young people that don't have fucking money anyways. I mean, let's keep it 100% honest. Like, the reason why he's stepping down is I'm sure he's being pushed down, not stepping down.
They respect that, and I want to do this, and I want to do this not only for them,
I highly doubt
but
it,
mainly for myself, so I can be a better version of myself for everyone. And
what he should do is, like, hey, if anything, he should have just been like, hey, my bad, but we're gonna keep it pushing, I apologize, and I'm not fucking leaving, I'm not going anywhere. You know, that's what I would have done. But, you know, that's what I'm saying. It's like, I've managed companies, I've owned my own company, I've done it, you know, I did it much younger. I managed and, you know, had my own company when I was in my 20s. I'm in, you know, mid 30s now, and now, you know, I'm just kind of chilling at this point. So it gives me a lot of leisure time to, you know, create content, give my opinion on stuff. You know, my background is in blue collar work, construction, different stuff in the blue collar field. So in the real world, like in those, I feel like why I have no problem with internet stuff is because I don't know what his life was like, or I don't know what he did prior to streaming and creating content, but this all backlash and everything seems easy in comparison to having like 10-20 foot fucking, you know, studs to build a home, like 3 of them stacked up on your shoulder, and you're walking them in the burning hot desert. Like, the comparison to my early 20s and in the blue collar field compared to now is just like night and day. So it's kind of hard when you, without having the perspective of having actual done hard work and still getting shit on and getting yelled at, compared to like what he's doing now. Since he doesn't have the difference, this is all he knows. It seems awful. It seems like a lot. But when you've made a lot of money, but your money came from the majority blue-collar work, it's a lot harder to hear people's opinions and give a fuck. It's like, oh, I'm never gonna watch your stream again. I'd be like, as long as I'm not fucking in the hot sun carrying fucking piles of fucking wood around, I'm chilling. Like, you don't want to buy my computer? Fuck it, I don't care.
I want to apologize to all you guys, my viewers, that I don't think I've lived up to that. I think that I can be a lot better than what I am right now.
Oh no, not that I can be better. I can do better.
That I've been putting in half the effort that I should be in the way that I should be, and I'm sorry.
It's not bad, I guess.
And so my plan is to, when I get unbanned, I'll keep streaming regularly, right? And I want to focus more on trying to do things that are fun, trying to laugh more with people rather than at people. I'll still laugh at people every once in a while, okay? Like, let's not get ahead of ourselves here. But it's about a focus, and it's about
he literally let tone policing change who he is. Like, because people on the internet said, I don't like what you're saying, I don't like your tone, or I don't like the language you're using. If you were any kind of fully functioning human being, you would have known he wasn't talking about every single, you know, Palestinian or Middle Eastern person. He was saying fundamentally these people are following this extremist rule, regardless of what caused them to follow that extremist rule. We're here now, and they are being extreme. And they invaded their neighboring country and attacked people, attacked a music festival, and that neighboring country, you know, decided to say, okay, we're gonna engage also, and we're gonna bring the full force, the hammer down on you. This is the thing. It's, don't pick a fight and then say, you pick a fight with someone bigger and stronger than you and then say, I need help because I'm weaker, but you chose to start the fight. So I don't know. Yeah, and I know there's people gonna be like, oh, they were in you know, Gaza, it was a fucking open air prison and this and that. I'm like, that's their fucking problem, ain't our problem. Once again, I will say this: America first. We have our own issues to take care of. America should not be involved in either side, whether that's Israel or Palestine, whether that's Ukraine or Russia. I don't think we should be getting involved, because one of the main things that comes from us getting involved in other, you know, countries or regime change wars is the country of the losing people inadvertently end up hating us and wanting us to be destroyed. You don't see, I don't know why, like, why isn't Canada, you know, getting involved? Why isn't like Southern America getting involved? Why isn't the UK, why isn't like the European countries, why aren't they, you know, sending stuff to, granted, a lot of these countries don't have the military capability or the equipment to help, but they could send soldiers, they could help as well. But everyone wants America to, you know, defend their side. And it's just like, I'm a person that says America shouldn't be defending any sides that aren't America. It's
about a tone. I listened to my tone in the clip, and I just sound like such a
oh wow, that's crazy. I totally predicted. Don't fucking, yeah, dude, he was tone policed. Like, that's what happened. Like, tone is what, that was his big crime, folks. His tone.
Piece of shit. Really, at the end of the day, I sound like a piece of shit. I sound like a terrible person. And it's just so mean-spirited and callous and just...
God, bro, like, that's the thing. It's like, it's about actions, not the words. Like, saying I sound like a terrible person, but are you a terrible person? You started a company, you employ a lot of people, you have started multiple companies that employ people. Overall, you are a net positive from what you've been given of creating internet content. From being a streamer, you were able to, you know, branch that off and create businesses that employ people and people buy your product. It doesn't matter. I hate this idea of tone policing it's not a manly thing to another man to tell another man, hey, watch your tone, or like that tone policing thing just doesn't fly. It's like, hey brother, don't fucking listen. You know, like if you don't like it, fuck off. And that's what these guys should be saying. Like they need to stop bowing down and acting like, you know, you've already done it, brother. You live a simple life. Like you have, you know, you're very wealthy. It doesn't seem like you like extremely expensive things. So, you know, just let it ride, dude. And like, I wouldn't worry so much about it. You know, don't get hung up on like random bots on the internet or random fucking cucks that like watch their girls get fucked at the corner chair of the chair in the corner of the bed. Don't let these guys, you know, hold you in a chokehold and tell you, you know, try to claim moral superior. Goddamn, I can't. Stupid American accent. No, I'm just kidding. It's not my first language. Moral superiority over you. Like, don't let them hold that over your head. It is insane.
Mean. And I don't want to be that person anymore. And
sometimes you got to be mean.
I've spent a long time growing up. The time I did, I was an r/atheism enjoyer. I have a very negative opinion of a lot of religions. I've had the experience firsthand of the negative effects of Christianity and, you know, the way that I view that. And I've always read a lot of very bad things about Islam. And I've made a lot of criticisms of it. I've talked to a lot of people about it. I've heard a lot about it. And I've been like watching things about it. And I've been like hearing people telling me this is the way it is. But I've never seen it. And I actually think that after all this, I think towards the end of next year, I think I'd like to visit the Middle East and see it for myself.
Damn, bro. Who did they threaten? These fucking Muslim motherfuckers must have threatened his fucking family. Something happened in his DMs where now he's like, I'm gonna convert to Islam. I need to see the Middle East for myself. It's like, it looks like rubble. It looks like shit. Like, you don't need to go over there to see a fucking awful life. Like, yeah, they're not having the greatest of times, but best believe a lot of these Middle Eastern countries, they don't have a lot of rights for their women, or they're like not super pro LGBTQ, which I don't mind. I don't care about that. Like, fuck, if they have the right to treat their women, as long as the women are okay with it, as long as they are not like saying, hey, treat us better. But if they're going along with it, and they're like doing the thing, I mean, let them do it. Like, they can be extremists if they want, but I mean, fuck it, who cares? It's not affecting Americans, you know. Like, I don't need to go, like, I think there was a joke once. I heard a funny joke where it was like, oh yeah, man, where I think it was Mark Norman, you might have said, where his friend's trying to get him to go to a brewery, and it's like, oh, it'd be cool, it'd be fun, you know, we'll see how the alcohol's made, we'll go to a brewery, see that. And he's like, oh man, I don't want to do that. Like, he's like, I like strippers, but I don't want to visit a bad home. Like, you don't want to know where strippers are made from, because it's usually awful homes. So the thing about it is, like, some of these countries in the Middle East, the women can't even drive or can't be around town without having chaperones, whether it's they have to have a male chaperone, or they can't show their ankles and feet and faces, or they'll get fucking, you know, in trouble. You don't need he wants to see it for himself. He'd be like, if anything, he's gonna see it and be like, oh fuck, it is worse. It's worse than I thought.
I want to see it for a historical perspective, right? I would love to go to Istanbul in Turkey. There's no ulterior motive there at all. But it's not just Iran. I'd love to visit places like Saudi Arabia, Dubai, any of the other places.
Saudi Arabia is going to be tough, boy.
And this is the worst thing about what I said. Some of the places that I would want to visit, I might not be able to, because of the way that they're, like, just the internal strife, the actual literal wars that are going on, people being literally killed there, and I might not be able to do that. But I want to do it, and I want to see it for myself, because he's gonna go there, he's gonna come back and be like, holy shit, guys, I was wrong, it's way worse. I don't like believing what people tell me, and I think that when I do, I end up being a fool, and I want to see it.
Damn.
I want to see it for myself, and I want to experience it, and I want to live my life. And
they tone police this guy into submission, dude. God, who knew that like DMs and tweets would just like break a man? But I get it. He's not, you know, he's obviously a much weaker man. I mean, he's very popular on the internet, but that doesn't mean that you have, you know, honor. You don't stand by the things you say. You will bend and crack at, you know, any kind of, you know, pushback. And you know, not everybody's cut like that. Not everybody's from the same cloth, you know. And the thing about it is, the majority of his audience I think are like nerdy, you know, white liberals. So that right now, to be a nerdy white liberal means you defend and back Palestine and a terrorist organization, Hamas. I mean, that's just what it is right now. So audience capture is 100% a thing.
I'm going to try to, like, I don't know, like, clean up.
He should go to Papua New Guinea or whatever. I'm not sure what the Papua New Guinea, where the older adult males get, you know, ZJs from the young males of their population.
Part of my house.
As a rite of passage.
Do this, and I'm not going to hire a cleaner. As I said, I was raised Roman Catholic. I view this as a penance, and I think I need to do this for myself. I need to take accountability for bad things that I've done and for letting my life get this out of control.
Mind you, the bad things that he did were talking. Folks, this is what it was. He said that some countries that are pieces of shit are pieces of shit. So that was a big deal.
And I don't need a get out of jail free card. So I need to do that for myself and for my own closure as well. And I think also I want to live for the idiots out there that, you know, they're, you know, like looking to me to be a role model, right? Oh, not a good idea. But there are people that will see that and they'll think maybe to themselves, maybe I should do the same thing.
Weak. Pretty, as apologies go, I guess a better apology, better than most apologies. You know, he didn't stick to some lame script. But as far as like standing on business, L. I'm gonna say that. Strong L for standing on business. Like, bro, just like say, he should have just said, hey, I wasn't talking about everybody. That's it. You know, I'm not going nowhere. I'm not changing nothing. I said what I said. This wasn't a dissertation. I wasn't giving a TED talk. I just said a bunch of random shit online, and I don't know anybody apology for anything. But that's pretty much it. I don't think it's gonna elaborate on anything else. If you made it to the end, 100% thanks. I know I need the views. Appreciate it if you made it to the end. Like, subscribe, share, comment down below, hit that notification bell so you never miss a clip. Start liking these videos, start sharing them. You know, share them because it's good for my, you know, algorithm. Like the videos. You know, if you watch on a constant basis and you hate it, but you hate watching, like them, man. I'll keep them coming. But that's all we have for now. Till next time, later.